This video is for Lab 11.2, Advanced Analytics for Marketing, analyzing text using a word cloud. And I will walk through this lab using ChatGPT version 5.2. In this lab, we will analyze customer reviews of a product using a word cloud. Word clouds are often used to understand the sentiment of customers toward a product. This type of analysis is called a sentiment analysis. First thing you need to do is open your GenAI, and I'm using ChatGPT version 5.2. Whenever you use GenAI, the first thing you always want to do is to start a new chat. And the reason you want to do that is to make sure that old data and old instructions do not affect your current analysis. The next thing you need to do is download the data file, Lab 11.2 GenAI data. And we're going to go ahead and use the plus sign and select Add Photos and Files. Find the data file and click Open. And we need to give GenAI some instructions. And so we are going to ask GenAI to please read the attached file. So GenAI will look at the file and give us some information here in just a second. Sometimes it's faster, sometimes it's slower. Right now it's thinking, there we go. And so it says, I've successfully read the attached file. The dataset contains customer number and review, which is exactly right as our file has 2 columns. And then go ahead and scroll up to the table and make sure it has read the first 5 rows. And then scroll down and make sure it also read the last 5 rows. Rows 996 through 1000. If it did not include those last 5 rows, you will need to prompt it and say, please display the last 5 rows of the file. Your data is now ready to analyze. So scroll down back to the prompt if you need to, and let's go ahead and ask for ChatGPT to please create a bar chart counting how many times a word is used in the review column for all customers. Do not include the word product or purchase. Do not include pronouns, conjunctions, and prepositions. Please make the bars blue. Number 15449C. Display the count on top of the bars and sort in descending order. So let's talk about these different conditions. First of all, we say do not include the word product or purchase. Do not include pronouns, conjunctions, and prepositions. The reason why is those words may be frequently used in all the reviews, and they do not help us understand customer sentiment. They actually call these stop words, and you do not include stop words in your analysis of sentiment. The reason why I want the bars a certain blue colour, because that is a blue that is easy for people who are colourblind to see. And then to help us clearly identify the number, I have asked to display the count on top of the bars. So as you can see, GenAI has created this bar chart, but it's very difficult to read. So let's go ahead and limit the number of words that it will show. So I have selected to limit the display to only show the top 50 words. And so now GenAI should go ahead and regenerate that bar chart only using the top 50 words. And I'm hoping that this will be easier to read. So once again, just thinking, there we go. It has generated a new bar chart for us. Notice now it's much easier to read. We can clearly see that the number 1 word was love used 312 times, followed by great, which is used 146 times. And the third word is works at 121 times. So now we are ready to create our word cloud. So then go ahead and put our prompt in, and our prompt says, please create a word cloud based on the frequency of the words in the review column. Do not include the word product or purchase. Do not include pronouns, conjunctions, and prepositions. Make the size of the words correspond to the frequency of the word usage. Include only the top 50 words. So the prompt is very similar to our bar chart prompt, except we asked to create a word cloud. GenAI has created our word cloud, and as we can see, the top words that we saw before were love, great, and works. And so those reflect what we saw on the bar chart. Scroll down to your prompt if you need to, and we are ready to report the results. Let's first ask GenAI to write a memo summarizing the findings, and we might find this a good way to start creating a memo for our boss or for our professor. And as you can see, it first describes the purpose of the analysis. And then it shows summary of the finding, which is a strong positive sentiment, and it shows what words support that conclusion. The next section talks about emphasis on performance and functionality, and it says customers appear focused on how well the item performs and its structural quality. Then we worry about customer experience and value perception. And basically, customers have a positive interaction, including service quality and overall experience, which is great for the company. And then it gives an overall interpretation, which says the word frequency distribution clearly reflects a predominantly positive customer response profile. And then it concludes saying that customers are highly satisfied, performance-focused, value-conscious, and willing to recommend the product. The next thing you might want to do is you might want to display the prompts that you used in the chat. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my prompt for that, saying please display the prompts I gave you in this chat. You may need to turn this into your professor, or you may want to save these for future analysis. And you can take a screenshot of those if you like, or you can also have GenAI create a file that you can export or download. So I'm going to create a prompt that says please output the bar chart as a PNG file titled Lab 11.2 GenAI bar chart. And you can use the same type of prompts to save the word cloud or the prompt as well. So once again, GenAI is thinking, and there we go. The file is ready. So all you would do is click on this file to download it, save it to your computer, and this concludes Lab 11.2,